You're eating well, you're showing up to your workouts, you're doing everything right, and your body still doesn't feel like yours. Your clothes fit weird, you're avoiding the mirror, and you keep wondering why other moms seem to bounce back when you can't. Today, we are talking about the thing nobody actually says out loud: postpartum body image. Body image after you have a baby. The comparison, the clothes, and the mental load of living in a body that literally feels foreign to you. And spoiler, it is not because you're not trying hard enough. There's real physiology behind this, and we're going to get into all of that today. Enjoy today's episode. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos? Whether you're 4 weeks postpartum, 2 years in, or done having babies, you deserve to feel like yourself again. Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong and Nourished Mama podcast, where you'll find simple, science-backed strategies to heal your core, rebuild strength, and restore your energy without the overwhelm. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Okay, before we jump in, I want to take a second to shout out someone who left a review, and honestly, it just made my entire day. Axie wrote, "Val is a wealth of knowledge and inspirational mama. Such a great podcast full of so much valuable information for women and mamas alike. Highly recommend." Thank you so much, Axie. I genuinely appreciate this review. Reviews like this are what keep me showing up every single week, and I do not take it for granted. And if you haven't left a review yet, please do. It literally takes 2 minutes, and it helps so many other moms find the podcast. Real quick, if you don't have my free protein-packed snack guide yet, go grab it now. Most active moms need somewhere between 100 and 130 grams of protein a day. And if you have no idea how to actually hit that, this guide is for you. Sometimes getting in your protein, it feels like a full-time job, and we don't need that extra stress. This guide breaks down exactly what to aim for, gives you my power snack formula, and has recipes you can make in minutes. And I just added a new key lime pie protein ball recipe. Go check it out. Head to wellnessbyval.com/protein snack guide or check out the link in the show notes and get it right away. Okay, let's talk about body image, because if your body doesn't feel or look like the way you think it should, or you're comparing yourself to where you were before you had kids, even when you were doing everything right, that is not a failure. That is not a lack of discipline or willpower. Often that's what I hear from moms. They tell me, "I just don't have enough willpower, Val." And that's not it. There is real physiology happening inside your postpartum body that most practitioners never take the time to explain to you. Like, what the heck? And often we think, I have my baby, I get cleared in 6 weeks, and maybe in about a year I'll start feeling like myself. You really need to think about how long it takes to fully recover from having a baby. 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years physically, mentally, emotionally, as well as nutritionally. There's a lot going on. And once you understand what that is, what's actually going on, so much of the shame and the confusion starts to lift, and it feels so much better. So let's talk about what's really happening. But I want to first start with a story. And some of you, who, if you follow me on Instagram this last week, you probably saw my stories as well as my post. But I want to go deeper here because I think it deserves more than a quick slide or just like some quick post, right? So I went to Lake Havasu, Arizona. We go there often. We went there for Memorial Day weekend. It was so much fun. We're in the sun, in the heat, in the water, the pool, the lake. It was a blast and a really great way to kick off the summer, which is awesome. And I found myself standing there looking at photos of myself, or even like almost body checking myself and not feeling comfortable in my body. Whereas like a year ago, I was doing totally different things, but a year ago, I felt really confident in my body. And I was like, yes, I feel good. I feel strong. I still feel strong, but for some reason, it just felt different to me. And instead of seeing someone who is strong and healthy, who works incredibly hard, I was picking it apart. And once you start going down that path, it can get pretty dangerous fairly quickly. I've actually had to buy bigger clothes. I've had to buy bigger shorts and even bigger shirts. And here's the thing, that wasn't the first time. 2 summers ago, after having my daughter, I had to buy bigger shorts because my hips were wider. And I remember I posted about that because we were in Scottsdale and I went to Levi's and I tried on new shorts for the summer. And this summer, I had to go up again. I went shopping again for Mother's Day because my glutes are bigger from training. I know that. And I have literally built more muscle, but it still has messed with me. Like going up a size, I'm like twitching. I'm like, wait, what is happening? This isn't where I'm supposed to be. I'm standing there knowing that I'm stronger than I have ever been, and my brain is still going to the negative place. Like I'm having this battle with myself inside of my head, all while still trying to be present and have fun, right? And if it happens to me, then I know it's going to be happening to you. It's going to be happening to everyone. Body dysmorphia and body image, man, it's rough. Not only when you're growing up in the 90s and the 2000s and then social media comes and you're comparing yourself to every single person. You're even comparing yourself to your own body 2 years ago or 4 years ago before you had kids. It's a slippery slope. And I know I'm not alone because this week I asked you guys on my stories what your biggest body image struggle was. And so many of you responded. And I want to read what you shared because these responses stopped me in my tracks. So here's some of the responses that I got. Clothes not fitting the way they should, even in the right size. I totally feel this in my soul right now. Not bouncing back, even when eating right and staying active. The comparison piece, oof. And then reprogramming my inner voice so my size doesn't consume me or keep me on the sidelines. This hit me hard. This is the work. This is real, okay? And then simply the postpartum belly, honest and raw. And so many of us are carrying this. So that's what we're doing today. All of it. And actually, I want to add one more thing before we get into the physiology of it. I just had a conversation with a client of mine. She's a mom of 2 and her kids are 13 and 9. And so we're not talking about a brand new postpartum mom here. We're talking about a woman who is over a decade out from her last pregnancy. And she and I were having a real conversation about the mental load of watching her body change, comparing herself to women she's seeing online, comparing, her body now to where she was before her first kid and where she was after her second kid, and the spiral of wondering why it feels so hard. It reminded me that this doesn't have an expiration date. This is not just a new mom issue or a postpartum issue. It's really a mom issue, right? Through all the different phases of our lives as women, and it deserves an honest conversation. So let's dive into first the physiology, and I want to stately clear this when we're talking about bouncing back and that bounce back culture. It is a freaking lie, okay? Not just a harmful one, but physiologically, it's impossible because here's the truth. After having a baby, you are in an entirely new body. An entirely new body. Your hormones have shifted, your pelvis has changed, your core has been stretched and reorganized. Your body has gone through something extraordinary, and it is not going to be exactly where it was. And that's not a bad thing. That is your body doing what it was designed to do. And let's talk about this. Let's get real on mom strength because after you have a baby, mom strength is real. It's kind of crazy, like how strong you are after you become a mom. The capacity you have now, physically, mentally, emotionally, is not the same as who you were before. It's more. But that looks different. And if we keep measuring ourselves against a pre-baby standard, we are setting ourselves up to feel like we're failing at something we were never supposed to be doing in the first place. Now let's talk about what's happening hormonally and physiologically because this is where it gets really interesting. Cortisol, we've talked about this many times on the show. It's your stress hormone. It is chronically elevated in the postpartum period. No shit. Right? Like cortisol is high in that early postpartum period because there's a lot going on and shit is stressful, sleep deprivation, emotional load, physical recovery, the mental weight of keeping a tiny, tiny human alive. We just talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And so all of this drives cortisol up, and elevated cortisol directly affects where your body stores fat, particularly around the midsection. And it also affects muscle retention. So even if you are eating well and you're training, your body may maybe holding onto fat and releasing muscle because cortisol is telling it to, right? That's what's happening. Now, layer on top of that, if you're breastfeeding, your estrogen is suppressed. Estrogen plays a key role in body composition, in water retention, and how your skin looks and feels. Low estrogen can make you feel puffy, soft, and just off. And I totally feel this because I've been using Mira. It's a hormone tracker that I use with myself and my clients, and I've been using it since last September. And in February or January, I took a little break and just started back up again. But my estrogen was really low. And I've noticed like my skin in my, on my abdomen, it feels softer and puffy. And I'm like, what is going on? And now I'm seeing my estrogen going back up. And so it'll be really interesting to see how I see that change in my own skin, in my own body. And then there's body recomposition, which is my favorite thing to talk about. I love it because it's really misunderstood. If you are strength training and eating enough protein, you are likely building muscle and losing fat at the same time, depending on the situation. It's really hard to be anabolic, building something up, and catabolic, breaking something down, your fat, at the same time. It really is. So when we're building muscle, it's actually easier to put on a little bit of fat as you're building muscle. And then when your body feels safe and good, it's easier to kind of cut that fat. And there's a lot of things that go into this and something that I talk about one-on-one with my clients. So if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out or head to wellnessbyval.com/nutrition and we can get you scheduled for a one-on-one because I would love to work with you and talk to you about this. Now, the scale won't always show body recomposition. It's not, right? I just talked to a client and I have so many clients who they'll step on the scale and they're like, the scale isn't changing. I'm pissed off. What the heck? It's barely going up or barely going down. Like it's not budging and I want to lose weight. Then we do their body composition or they get their body composition done at a local gym and we look at the results and they've actually lost fat and built muscle. Muscle is denser than fat. So you might weigh the same or even more while your body's actually changing in the exact direction that we want it to. This is why the scale is not your best feedback tool in the postpartum period. It's not. Is it something that we can add to our self-monitoring toolbox along with body composition and strength and other assessments? Yes, 100%. But it's not going to be the one thing that we look at and decide everything on. Now, let's talk about the very specific pain of clothes not fitting the way they used to. We want to be comfortable in our clothes, and it's so important because that's what's going to help us feel confident and strong. I have lived this, okay? I told you, I had to buy bigger clothes. My hips got bigger after I had my baby girl. It's completely normal, and I felt good in my body. I felt strong, and this makes sense because your pelvis during pregnancy and birth, it's going to change. Your hips are not going to go back to exactly where they were for most women. That's not a problem, right? That's anatomy. That's what happened. You gave birth, and that's super freaking cool. And of course, like I said, this summer I'm buying even bigger clothes. I'm going up another size in not only my shorts, but my shirts as well. And I have to remind myself, okay, my glutes have grown. I've seen it. I've seen it in my body composition assessment with my circumferences. People are telling me that. And I'm like, okay, I have to tell myself, I'm getting stronger glutes. This is good. And I have to go up in a size to be able to fit into the shorts, right? But mentally, I'm like screaming inside. You guys probably totally understand this because we have been conditioned to equate bigger with worse. And that is the lie we have to consciously undo right now. And it's going to take time. It's taking time with me. Now, let's talk about the postpartum belly specifically because so many of you named this and it deserves a real answer. So the postpartum belly is not just about fat. There are a few things going on. First, diastasis recti, the separation of your abdominal muscles, which is going to happen to every single woman at the end of pregnancy to be able to make room for baby. So it's really common and it affects the way your belly looks and functions, especially after you have your baby, right? Whether it's 3 months postpartum, a year, 5 years. Now, second, your core has been reorganized. The pressure management system in your trunk, so your diaphragm, your pelvic floor, your deep core, It has been through a lot with growing your baby and then giving birth. Until that system is functioning well, the belly can protrude regardless of what the scale says. And this is exactly why I focus on breathing and core function before anything else in my approach to postpartum fitness. The aesthetic follows the function. Now, of course, you can still have that ab separation and still have really good function. And that's pretty common in a lot of athletes as well. Like, okay, we still have this ab separation, we still have the diastasis recti, but functionality of the core is doing what it needs to, and you're also getting stronger. So two things can be true at once. Now, let's really dive into the part that matters most. The response I read, reprogramming my inner voice so my size doesn't consume me or keep me on the sidelines. Yes, I want us to sit with that for a second, because being on the sidelines of your own life because of how you feel in your body, that is a real cost, right? Like I said, I was on the beach, we were at the lake, we were in the pool, and I'm having this mental conversation with myself, a mental fight with myself while trying to have fun and be present. And luckily my husband is so supportive, and I was able to talk to him about it, and he was able to really explain things in a way that made me feel like, okay, yes, I'm strong. I'm fine. I'm with my baby. I'm having fun. So I was able to kind of put that to the side. But keeping you on the sidelines, a lot of people don't understand that's what body dysmorphia and having this negative relationship with body image, it can do. And it's not every single day. It may not be every single day or even every single month or year, but it may just sneak in here and there. It may go away for a while and then come back. What does this look like when we're talking about keeping you on the sidelines? That is showing up to the pool but not getting in. That is skipping photos with your kids. That is letting the mirror determine how much space you take up in a room. And comparison is the accelerant on all of this. Social media has made it so easy to hold ourselves up against someone else's highlight reel, someone else's body, someone else's after photo without any of the context. Different genetics, different timeline, different life. My client I mentioned earlier, she told me she'll see someone online, a mom looking a certain way, and the spiral starts immediately. And so she knows, okay, I have to get off of this. Or she'll think, why does she look like that and I don't? I've been doing X, Y, and Z. But we don't know that person's story. We don't know her hormones, her history, her relationship with food, and what's not showing, what she's not sharing. So here's what I want to offer as a reframe. And it's not toxic positivity. It is not just love yourself, because I know that's not always that easy. Like, just what are you talking about? Like, people, I'll explain how I'm feeling, and people will be like, oh my gosh, they'll roll their eyes and be like, why are you feeling that way? Like, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, and okay, that's nice, but it doesn't help, right? So the goal is not to get your pre-baby body back. The goal is to feel strong, energized, and at home in the body you are living in right now. That's your home for the rest of your life. Those are different goals, and only one of them is actually achievable. Practically, reprogramming your inner voice looks like catching the thought and replacing it. And this takes practice, guys. Not suppressing it, but replacing it. My shorts are bigger becomes my body is stronger. I haven't bounced back becomes I was never supposed to. That is not denial. That is actually accurate, right? And the last thing I'll say here is stop letting your body be the reason you don't show up. Get in the pool with your kids. Have fun. Be in the photos. Take up space. Your kids are not going to remember what size you were. And I have to remind myself this all of the time. They're going to remember if you were there and having fun and being present. And so luckily I was able to shut that voice off and be able to have fun, get in the water, do all the things with my baby girl while on vacation. Okay, so let's bring it home. Here's what we covered today. Your postpartum body is not broken. It is operating under a completely different hormonal and physiological reality than you've ever experienced, really. The bounce back culture is a myth, and chasing a pre-baby body is chasing something that does not exist anymore. The belly, the hips, the clothes. There are real physical explanations for all of it. And the mental load of comparison and the inner voice, that is real work. And it is worth doing, believe me. Your one action item this week, just one, is the next time you catch yourself in a comparison spiral or that thought comes up, say it out loud or in your head. Different timeline, different body, same worth. Different timeline, different body, same worth. Maybe you come up with a mantra that works for you. Share it with me because I want to know what it is. Just interrupt that thought. When those thoughts start coming in, and your brain starts to tell you those negative things, don't get in the pool, you look like this, don't do that. You don't have to fix all of it today, right? Just interrupt it. Stop. Nope. Different timeline, different body, same worth. Try it. Let me know what you think. And also let me know if you come up with other mantras that really work for you. Everyone's different. Before I let you go, if you want to start nourishing your body in a way that actually supports everything we talked about today, your hormones, your energy, your body composition, go grab my free protein pack snack guide. It has your protein targets, a snack formula that actually makes sense, and recipes that take 10 minutes or less. Head to wellnessbyval.com/protein snack guide or the link in the show notes to download it right away. It's free, no strings attached. Okay, mama, I'm so glad you were here today. Share this one with a friend who needs it because I promise you she does. Stay strong, stay nourished, and I'll see you next week. Hey mama, I hope you loved today's episode. If you got something out of it or simply enjoyed listening, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom who could use the support? And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in. It truly means the world to me and it helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to go chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.